remember, the most millionaires in history have been made through real estate, especially in the United States, but in most countries. Now, not billionaires, but millionaires. The problem is there's a barrier to entry. A house like that might cost you $500,000, $1 million, depending where you live. So if you don't have great credit, if you don't have 20 or 30% down, you probably go, well, Tai, that's great that real estate has helped so many people create wealth, but it won't work for me. Until today, I'm telling you something. This is the next big thing. In 2016, I told people the next big thing is a social media marketing agency. 30,000 people went through my program. The results were insane. Person who went through Jaden Gross on the first day he got in the social media marketing program, he became a millionaire. It took him about 18 months, maybe a little less. Now, I'm not saying this is gonna make you a millionaire. What I am saying is, I wanna point out to you now in 2019, what the next new big thing is, and it's using Airbnb and home sharing sites to rent out maybe a room in your apartment that you don't use. What if a room where you live right now, you could rent it out on VRBO or Airbnb, not VRBO so much for that, but Airbnb, and you could have your rent paid for completely by that other room. Or maybe you have a friend or a friend of a friend who has a vacation home. Maybe your parents or a friend's parents or a rich uncle has a home that's just sitting there. What if you said to him, hey, I'll fill up that house with people from Airbnb or VRBO. I'll manage it all for you. We split it 50-50. I just did, I don't know if you saw my Facebook Live, my Instagram Facebook Live the other day. I had 3 people on who have done this. One house is making one of them $150,000. They don't even own the house. Remember how I said you don't have to have a lot of money to get in real estate anymore? That's because of this new cutting edge technique that I'm sharing with you right now. Home sharing is the future. Airbnb is just one site. There's multiple ones, depends where you live. Right now, Airbnb is the big one, but there's VRBO and there's other ones in other countries. This works in over 190 countries, by the way. I don't know where you are watching this video. I want you to build what I call an HSMC, Home Sharing Management Company. The best way to start when you don't have money, people always say, Tai, how do you start when you don't have money? Easy, a service business. Meaning, there's basically 2 types of businesses. There's service businesses and there's businesses that produce goods. So producing goods in this case will be like a developer. They buy land and build a house on it and then sell the house for a profit. But that takes a lot of capital, right? You gotta be able to buy the land, you gotta be able to buy the wood, pay the carpentry crew, the electrician, all the realtor to build and sell the house. So production's not a good place to start. If you hate your job or you wanna have a side income, listen to what I'm saying. Stop trying to do production businesses, do service business. So an example of a service business that I taught people in 2016, social media marketing agency. You just walk into a business and say, hey, let me manage your social media for you for $1,000 to $10,000 a month. And lo and behold, people start signing up. And all you need is a laptop or your cell phone and an internet connection. Now in real estate, there hasn't been an equivalent way of doing that besides being a realtor. But the average realtor makes $20,000 or $30,000 a year and runs around and does a lot of work and doesn't get rewarded. Being a real estate agent, it's a tough industry. Some people succeed, most people don't. So what's a service business in real estate that could actually get you to the place where you're owning real estate? I'm going to talk to you about how you can take the cash flow and flip it into actually owning the homes through lease options. One of the people who was teaching, I launched a new course. I'm going to put a link below if you want to check out this test group that I launched on how to use Airbnb to make 1 to 10 grand with your own home sharing management company. I brought in 4 people actually, from around the United States, flew them in. We were all recorded and created an online training program that you can jump into. Click the link below or here in the corners or flip up wherever you're watching this, okay? And one of them, Brian, he did not buy a home, but he's based out of Savannah, Georgia. He's been doing this home sharing management company in in Charleston, South Carolina, in the south there. And he's got 9 homes. He rents them out on Airbnb, anywhere from, $100 a night to $1,000 a night. But now he's going into higher end properties. He went to Scottsdale, Arizona, and he's got a place where one place is netting him $100,000 a year. One place. He controls a lease. He got the person who owns the house to agree to let him sublease it and put it on Airbnb. And he's renting it out after he pays the rent to the landlord of $8,000. He has left over about roughly $8,000 to $10,000 a month from one property that he doesn't own. Now, what if you don't have good credit? What if you don't have money? If you're persuasive, you talk to people who have, I'm gonna give you a ninja trick right here for free. People say, oh, Tai, do you only charge for free advice? No, listen to what I'm about to tell you. This is brand new, cutting edge, and free. Go to all the homeowners in your area who have had a house on the market for more than 6 months and no one's buying their home. They're trying to sell it, and say to them, hey, while this house is just sitting here for 6 months, maybe it'll be another year till you sell it. On the days you aren't showing it with a realtor, let me put it up on Airbnb. Depending on the house, you can get $100 to $1,000 a night. I'll do all the management. I'll do all the work. I'll create the Airbnb listing. I'll do the professional photography or hire someone to do it. I'll do the management, making sure people, and by the way, those of you who get in the test group, we're gonna show you how to outsource the management. We're gonna show you how to optimize the Airbnb listing so it gets shown on Airbnb much higher up. Anyway, so let's say the home, $300 a night. And let's say you can't show it every night because you can't rent it out on Airbnb every night, so you do it half the month. Some of the guys that are teaching in the program have 90% occupancy with Airbnb. If you know how to do it, they book out a year ahead. But you can't do that if the home's for sale. You book it out maybe 3 months. 90% occupancy for 15 days a month at $200, $300 a night. $4,000, $5,000 from one property. You split it with the homeowner, 50-50. One property making you $2,000 cash flow a month. Then the next month, Next thing you know, if you do this right in a different part of the United States, you can buy cheap homes for about 40, 50 grand. Cheap rundown homes for those of you who have a little more cash. You fix them up. I got a guy who's teaching in the course in that link below. He's buying homes for 40. He's putting 10 or 20 to fix them up a teeny bit, and he's renting them out and netting $30,000 profit per year. So all in with renovation, closing costs will have about $70,000 in. He'll pay off the home in 3 years. You know, most people have a 30-year loan, 30-year mortgage. Your parents growing up, what was their biggest bill? 30-year mortgage. Most Americans. This guy's gonna buy a property with no money down, in many cases because he does owner financing, puts a little money in it. You could do it with a business partner, with your parents, with a friend of a friend. This is a different strategy, by the way, a more advanced strategy, but still works. Still can work for most people listening. Then you take the home and you cash flow it on Airbnb or VRBO or some other sites we'll talk about. You pay it off in 3 years, and then for the rest of your life, you can keep it up on Airbnb or you can rent it out. So now you own a property free and clear in 3 years, and now the thing continues to cash flow for you, and you're making $30,000 per property per year. And of course, the price is going to depend on where you go. It's not always $30,000. Listen to the big picture. Don't say, well, Tai promised me I'll be a millionaire. No, I'm not promising you anything. Most people are lazy and procrastinate. If that's you, you can just stop watching this video. But for those of you who get what I'm trying to say, this is the next big thing. I'm going on record. 2014, I launched my 67 steps. 2015, I launched my business accelerator, teaching people how to grow their business. 2016, launched the social media marketing. Then I launched the e-com program, a different type of real estate investment, more traditional. Right now, 2019, next big thing, home sharing. Click the link below, get in this test group. You have 3 days, 72 hours to get in. Then this link isn't gonna work and the price is gonna go up. Get in the test group now. You get in early, there's less competition. So for those of you still, you're still a little skeptical and you go, but Tai, I'm too young, or maybe I'm too old, or how much time will this take me? Or will this work in my area? Or do I have to have a special license for this? The answer to most of these questions is yes, it'll work for you, and no, it's not as hard as you think. Now, I want you to start simple. Simplest way to succeed is to start simple. Rent out a room where you live now, even if you still live at home. Ask your parents, or find a close friend who's got an extra room. Brian, who teaches in this test group, one of the teachers, we've got multiple teachers in the course. We've got multiple teachers, so you get different angles, different perspectives, different success stories. What he did, he started renting a room in his apartment. He rented it out and completely paid his rent and utilities. He learned small. He learned how to set up Airbnb, how to do the home management. Then he scaled up. Now he's got 12 properties. 12 properties. One of them makes over 100 grand profit, pure profit, one. So you don't have, there's a guy who teaches in the program, Tony. He used to work at NASA, okay? He's in my mastermind, a separate advanced business entrepreneurship mastermind that I have. He's teaching right now. He's recording for this group as we speak. He flew in, and he's got one property making him $12,000 net a month, just one. So for those of you who go, Tai, well, for this home sharing, you know, management company using Airbnb and all this, do I have to stress myself out and have 40 properties to make profit, only make $100 per? No, there's margins in this. And I'm gonna tell you, this will not last forever. That's why I call it a test group. I wanna test who's ready to go and strike while the iron's hot. You should be ready to go right now. Now let me answer a few more frequently asked questions. By the way, click the link below. You got less than 3 days to get in. Let me answer some more frequently asked questions. One of the frequently asked questions is, okay, Tai, this sounds great. I have bad credit and really very, very little money. I empathize with you. When I got started, I had less than $50 in my bank account. Okay, I was sleeping on a couch in a mobile home. I feel you, wherever you are, wherever place you are in life. I didn't have a college degree. I didn't have great credit at all. I had no credit. You know, you start out with low credit because you don't have any. I probably had 500 credit. So the beauty of this is you're gonna start out not actually having to buy a home. You could control a home without owning it, and then you could buy it later if you want to. The way you control it is through what's called a master lease. We're gonna teach you how to set up the lease. We're gonna teach you the legalities and the pitfalls. Certain cities, there's extra regulations you have to double check on. Some people do this incorrectly. One of the people teaching, Braden, in the program, he shares how he lost $5,000 on his first deal because he didn't understand that you have to get the landlord to agree to allow you to sublease. Very important. So the reason I made a test group is because I'm shooting this video. People are gonna get excited. They're gonna go do it, and that's fine. You could some of you can figure out on your own, but it's so much easier if we just lay out a map for you. So when you click the link below and get in the test group, it's a 4-month training program. You're gonna get a certification at the 4 months. It's not a college degree or anything like that. It's just certifying you understood and went through the 4-month training program. It's all online, okay? It's audio downloads or video. You get a special password protected login to the home sharing management course, okay? Then once you get in, you can just listen to it on the way to work. Listen to it 5-10 minutes a day, okay? There's more info than you even need, so you don't have to feel like you gotta listen to everything, but it's all laid out step by step. Step number 1, we want you to get your first cash flow home sharing project going, okay? Whether it be in your own house, a friend of a friend, just a simple one. Make an extra couple $100, extra $1,000 a month. Then the second month, we're gonna teach you how to begin to scale this. There's things you gotta know to scale. One of the things you have to know to scale is how to outsource the management. So we teach you there's some offshore where you can use people like in the Philippines or other countries, or you can use people in the United States too. You know, people who need some part-time work, who work online, they'll answer the phones so that you don't have to get, if you have 10 properties, you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night and tell people, oh, this is where the property is. Because remember, it's vacation rentals that you're doing for people. And so people get confused. That way you can have a phone number, you can get better ratings on Airbnb and increase, you can become maybe even, you know, an instant booking, which means kind of like being a verified badge on Instagram. So we're gonna teach you that on the second month. The third month, we're gonna teach you how to start buying the properties. So take the cash flow you're making and start actually owning the assets. But that's step 3. And we'll include in there how to improve your credit, how to do lease options. We'll talk about no money down, where you get the owner to finance. We'll talk about hard money loans, where you get people who do what's called collateral-based Lending, meaning they don't really look at your credit. I'm actually doing a deal like that right now. I have good credit, but I've got a deal. I'm buying 110 acres to develop in Virginia, and I've got they call them hard money lenders, but a collateral-based lender. And he doesn't care about my credit. He doesn't care about my income, nothing. They don't ask for anything because he bases off the value of the property. So that's the third month. And then the fourth month, I want to also teach you how to diversify in multiple locations. You should start where you live, but there's opportunities around the world. One of my followers, he has properties in the Netherlands. He has them in the Caribbean. He has them in New York. He has them all over. We'll talk about the regulations. There's about 92% of cities in the United States allow this, and it's pretty much the same in most countries. By the way, this is great whether you're young, old, male, female, black, Latin. No one cares. No one cares. You know, the Airbnb, if you know how to list the property right, people want a place to vacation. So click the link below. You got less than 3 days. Do not procrastinate. This is the next big thing. It'd be great if you could have an extra $1,000 to $10,000 a month with a side business. No money down to start. You don't need great credit. You don't need a lot of experience. You just need the training, or you can try it on your own if you're a risk taker. But I recommend, look, the training, we're not charging that much money. Like I said, one of the people in there, Braden training, he's like, man, people aren't paying enough for this, Tai, because I made one mistake with the regulations and I lost $5,000 in a penalty. He's up in Canada. And I don't want that to scare you off, but you should be scared of when you try stuff on your own with no guidance. It can be rocky. Click the link below. Let us guide you through this program. This is an amazing, and mark my words, I've gone down on record here on this video. You can see the date saying this is the next big thing. You're gonna hear about this more and more in the next few years, but making money comes from catching trends early. You gotta catch trends early. You don't have to be the first one. Mark Zuckerberg wasn't the first one to build a social media platform. Facebook, there was MySpace, there was Friendster, but he wasn't too late. So get in now, get in now, get in now. I'm telling you, you'll thank me later.